You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. I do got to get your reaction to what we just talked about. The pepper spraying of a 9-year-old girl. Mom calls the cops. The girl was threatening to kill herself. The cop says, "You're acting like a little child." And she says, "I am a child."
Right. I am a child. Yeah. And Roland, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Go ahead.
Yeah. One of the things I'm thinking about. So you pepper spray a 9-year-old girl who's in a mental crisis, but you don't pepper spray grown folk that aren't crazy who storm the Capitol with guns and beat people with fire hydrants and kill people. And I mean, just think about that for a moment, y'all.
Yeah, no pepper spray was used on the U.S. Capitol, and they were storming the Capitol, tossing aside barricades, beating people with flags. Yeah.
And you talk to them. I mean, that's what's, I'm real close to saying words I try not to say when I'm listening to this. So the grown folk, the grown white folk come in, they're climbing walls, they're using all kinds of barricades. They are beating people, hitting them with, flagpoles and fire hydrants. They're carrying zip ties. They are saying they're coming to lynch somebody, telling you what they're going to do. We're coming to lynch. We're coming to hurt. We're coming to destroy. No pepper spray. What we saw was folks saying, "Hey, how you doing? This is your house. Oh, by the way, come on in." Then we hear a 9-year-old girl. I mean, the reality is, this is what I think. I don't think any of this is going to stop until, number one, we can actually bring not local, but federal charges for murder and felony assault that have large penalties against police without any way they can get around it. Number two, we are going to have insurance companies say, "We will no longer insure your police agency and pay people off if you're engaged in this kind of racist activity." And number three, when we talk about defunding, I've been thinking about this. There's a process. It's not what everybody wants yet, but there is a process for defunding already in place. It's called Title VI, Civil Rights Act of 1964. It said that anybody that gets federal money, that engages in discriminatory tactics, the federal government can defund them. Problem is, we haven't been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? The law is there. It's inside. Now, it's not finally what Black Lives Matter. I'm not trying to suggest that, but I'm trying to say that until we can have that, they know they're not going to be left up to the local DAs. Federal charges for felony murder or for felony assault, number one. The private insurance companies that insure these folks saying, "We're not going to insure your company." Just like your insurance company, you can have life insurance, but if you go out and commit suicide, then they're not going to pay, right? So it should be the same way. If a police department, in essence, if you kill innocent people, you are committing a form of policy suicide, and we're not going to protect you. We will your city, your county will just have to go broke because you have no business doing that. And thirdly, we should be using Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. I heard you say Rochester. This is just another time they've done it before. We will pull your federal money, or you're going to fire the people and get this thing straight. That's what's going to. But look at again. And I'm about love and all that, Roland. But I didn't see no pepper spray. Maybe it was a few instances when it really got rough. But for the most part, I saw people fussing and cussing and running and breaking and trying, and it was not even a shot rang out. 1 million Black people came to the Million Man March, and not one act of violence. 250,000 people came with the March on Washington, not one act of violence. We did 6 weeks in the Poor People's Campaign of actions at the Capitol and 43 other places around the country. And Roland, they arrested us every time for praying. You talk about going up the steps. They arrested us at the bottom of the steps. So I have no tolerance for this, and we've got to stop it. And it's only going to stop when people have penalty. And we can no longer leave it up to the local. It's got to be a federal penalty. And it's got to be harsh penalties for it. And we've got to pull the money back.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.